Let me give you some good news. Well, maybe it's not exactly good news, but reasons for optimism. As you know, we're pretty screwed right now. But there is a silver lining. There are some reasons for optimism. And one of those reasons is that Donald Trump is a moron. He is also very arrogant, as are all the people who surround him. Very, very arrogant. They believe that they won this historic landslide election, which they didn't, but they believe they did. That's what they're telling themselves. That's what they're telling everyone who will listen. And it is that hubris which is going to lead them to screw up royally. They keep talking about a mandate, that they won such a huge victory that Donald Trump has a mandate from the American people to enact all the policies he talked about during the campaign. Now, the bad news is that whether you win by a landslide or whether you win by the slimmest of margins, you assume all the powers of the presidency. Doesn't matter how big your margin is. And Donald Trump won, and now he has the power of the presidency. But how he uses that power is going to make a big difference in terms of his standing with the American people. Now, the truth of the matter is, he did not win a mandate. He did not even win a big election victory. In fact, I was reading this morning that of all the post-World War II presidential elections, Donald Trump's victory over Kamala Harris ranks as only number 16, just behind Jimmy Carter's victory in 1976. So Donald Trump did not win any kind of a huge mandate. This was not a landslide by any means. He won the popular vote by 1.9% last I checked. That is hardly a landslide. Now, yes, he won comfortably in the Electoral College, but in terms of the American people, 1.9% in the popular vote. So if Donald Trump wants to take that as an indication that he has a mandate, that he has broad support with the American people, and that they all voted for this phone thing is not working right. Apologize for the wobble here. Anyways, if he wants to take that as an indication that the American people affirmatively voted for everything he talked about on the campaign, during the campaign, then go ahead. What he's going to find out very quickly is that he has no such mandate. And I'll give you a perfect example. This is just one of many. So Donald Trump talked constantly about tariffs, right? And he probably assumes that the American people heard all about his tariff plan and they voted for it. Now, they did hear all about it, or they should have, because he talked about it a lot. And yeah, I guess they voted for it. The truth of the matter is, they have no idea what the hell it means. See, Donald Trump now is about to be affected by the same phenomenon that put him into office, the stupidity of the American people. The American people's stupidity is why he was elected. And he's not factoring their stupidity in when he's talking about a mandate. So what's going to happen with tariffs is, he thinks he's got a mandate for tariffs, that people understand the tariffs and they support them. They don't. They don't understand the first thing about tariffs. What they voted for, what they heard when he was talking about tariffs, is that he's gonna reduce the cost of all the goods and services and products and everything that the American people buy. He's going to reduce the cost of eggs and their groceries and everything else. That's what they hear when he talks about his tariffs. The truth of the matter is that when he imposes his tariff policies, you know and I know it's going to skyrocket the cost of everything. So all of a sudden, they're going to be opposed to what he's doing, even though he thinks they affirmatively supported it. The American people are morons. They have no idea what the hell they voted for. And Donald Trump is about to find that out if he goes and passes all of these insane things he talked about. Boy, my phone is really wobbling like crazy. I really apologize about that. Another thing is these mass deportations. Now, they may have voted for mass deportations. Whoa. Sorry, I'll do this now. But they have no idea what that means. Yeah, in theory, mass deportations, get all the criminal illegals out of here, right? What are they going to think when they see it in practice? When the American military is walking down the streets of their towns and cities, rounding up people door to door. What are they going to think then? I have a feeling they're going to have a much different opinion about it when they actually see these things put into practice. So the point is, Donald Trump, through his arrogance and all the people around him, are going to grossly overreach, horribly overreach, because they mistakenly believe that the American people understood what they voted for. They didn't. They thought the economy was terrible because they listened to, right-wing propaganda for 4 years, and Joe Biden did absolutely nothing to communicate with the American people for the last 4 years. So they only heard that the economy is horrible, and they believe it, despite the fact that it's not horrible. And so they voted for Donald Trump because they blamed Biden and Harris, and for other reasons. But that's why they did. They don't know shit about individual policies, and they don't support these individual policies. And here's another thing to keep in mind. Midterm elections are less than 2 years away, right? And if Donald Trump does the things that he's planning to do, and if Democrats, and there's a big if Democrats can be on message and successfully blame Donald Trump for all the shit that's about to go down in this country, and it should be easy to do because Trump and the Republican Party control everything. If they successfully put the blame for all the shit that's coming down the pike on Trump and the Republicans, then the midterm elections in 2026 could be fire for the Democrats. They could clean up, take back both houses of Congress. The Senate is looking good for them 2 years from now. It would, the way that the Senate was constituted this time around, bad for Democrats. 2 years from now, good for Democrats. And you couple that with the extreme overreach of Trump and the Republicans that is sure to come, and Democrats are in a good position to take back control of both houses. So that will stop in its tracks Donald Trump's legislative agenda. Then what happens immediately after the midterms? The presidential election begins. The primaries on both sides are going to start up in earnest. And then there's this big question: what's Donald Trump going to do? Is he going to try to stay in office illegally? Anyways, we don't need to get ahead of ourselves on that. The point is, Donald Trump is going to be the lamest of lame ducks in just 2 years. He is probably not going to have control of either house of Congress, and the primaries are going to start up. He's going to be out of the spotlight, which is going to drive him insane. He might be trying to do something unconstitutional at that point to keep his fat orange ass in office illegally. It is likely to be an absolute shit show for Republicans 2 years from now. So that's a little bit of good news as I see it, reasons for optimism. If Democrats are smart enough and strategic enough to take advantage of it. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.